Hey there, and welcome to part 2 of this series on how dietitians in various practice settings use Dietitian Success Center. In this episode, we wanted to showcase a clinical example of how a dietitian in a clinical setting would use Dietitian Success Center to help them save time during the day, help them prep for different clients, and help them really streamline their practice. So, if you are a member, these episodes are great because they give you an idea of how to use some of the DSC tools that you already have at your fingertips, perhaps things that you haven't thought of before. If you're not a member, these episodes really help to show you everything that's possible with Dietitian Success Center. Don't forget, we are running our legacy launch right now, which means that our pricing is going up after November 22nd. So now is the time to lock in current member pricing. The price you pay when you lock in your membership will not change so long as you keep your membership active. So now's the time to join. And with that, let's get into this case study of how clinical dietitians would use Dietitian Success Center. And just a reminder that these case studies are based on fictional characters. So fictional dietitians, fictional patients that are very much a real representation of how our members actually utilize the platform. So let's start with Zara. Zara is a 30-year-old clinical dietitian who's working in a busy Trauma One hospital in Denver, Colorado. She has 3 years of experience under her belt and treats patients with a wide variety of medical conditions, including things like cardiovascular disease, chronic kidney disease, diabetes, etc. So while she's been feeling great over the last year, her career definitely didn't start off smoothly. So before Zara decided to invest in her Dietitian Success Center membership, she used her professional development stipend from work to cover the cost. She found herself staying an hour late every day without being paid. Does that sound familiar? And struggling to prepare for her patient consultations and finish charting. She was feeling unfulfilled, she was feeling overwhelmed, and just like an imposter in her job. And that all changed after she started using DSC. So now she saves time, she feels more confident in her skills and her knowledge, and knows and feels like she's really making a genuine difference in her patients' lives. So let's look through an example of how Zara would use Dietitian Success Center. So let's say today, Zara's first patient is Miguel, a 48-year-old man admitted 2 days ago with complaints of right upper quadrant discomfort, fatigue, and malaise. Initial blood tests have revealed elevated liver enzymes, and an abdominal ultrasound showed signs of hepatic steatosis. He was formerly diagnosed with MASLD, formerly known as NAFLD. Miguel also has type 2 diabetes, which remains relatively uncontrolled, and a BMI of 32. In the past, Zara would have spent an hour or more researching nutrition therapy for MASLD, contributing to her already jam-packed schedule. But now, with DSC, Zara logs in and navigates directly to the MASLD, or formerly NAFLD, toolkit. She reviews the evidence summary, which is an updated summary of the key nutrition therapy recommendations for dietitians to keep in mind. It's a PDF document, so it can be printed or read on the computer. And this preparation takes just a few minutes, and it saves Zara about 20 minutes of independent research time, attempting to find what's most important to focus on. And it really just helps to save her time and boost her confidence as she heads into this consultation. During the consult, Zara notices a few key dietary patterns that were highlighted in the summary. Things like the fact that Miguel consumes excessive amounts of sugar-sweetened beverages, things like soda and fruit juice. His diet is high in saturated fat from processed and fried foods. He likely doesn't consume enough fiber on most days, as he lacks fruits, vegetables, and whole grains in his diet. So Zara discusses realistic swaps with Miguel, all of which she found within the DSC handout library. Things like replacing sugary drinks with fruit-flavored water or unsweetened teas, and incorporating more fiber-rich foods such as beans and whole grains. By drawing on the resources from DSE, Zara feels confident that she's providing evidence-based recommendations that are really tailored to Miguel's needs and goals. After the consult, Zara returns to DSE to access Spanish language handouts that align with the nutrition advice she gave after learning that he prefers to read in Spanish. So she wants to select 3 so that he focuses his time on limited goals without getting too overwhelmed. So she chooses the Balanced Plate handout. She chooses Tips to Eat More Fruits and Vegetables handout and Anti-Inflammatory Foods handout. These materials will help Miguel understand and follow through on the changes they discussed. The handouts are ready to use, plain language, and visually appealing, saving Zara 15 to 20 minutes per handout that she would have otherwise spent trying to translate and create her own. Now, before closing Miguel's chart, Zara refers him to the outpatient dietitian for ongoing support and writes a note on what she believes he should work on next. She knows Miguel will need more guidance as he continues his health journey, but she's confident she set him up for initial success. Since using DSE, Zara has changed the way she practices. Instead of feeling overwhelmed and staying late at work, she now leaves on time, knowing she's given her patients the best care possible. By using evidence-based resources and getting access to the most important information she needs quickly, she no longer feels like an imposter in her role.